Peace. All right. So I saw a post on IG the other day and it said something like, it was like a fill in the blank. It said, my ancestors are calling me to. And, took a few deep breaths and the message I got was, trust yourself, take action. Everything that you need is already within you, was the message, right? And I was blessed by that message because I've been confirmed many times, but it was like at that moment, it was like, okay, let's go. And so I come to you now to just expound on that trusting yourself aspect because it's a thing. Like, I mean, we think about IG and all the scammer accounts, and people are getting scammed left and right. And people say you have to use your discernment, but using discernment means trusting yourself. And we've been taught to not trust ourselves on the grand scale. So if you are, conditioned all your life to trust everybody outside of you, then yeah, you get, 1 + 1 = 2, right? Anyway, so the title of this video is going to be, or is, shall I say, trust yourself to navigate. You see me looking down, looking at my computer. So transparency moment. The whole message of my ancestors telling me like, hey, trust yourself, take action, you know what I'm saying, go, you have everything you need. So I was sitting here and I was like, I'm gonna create some content tonight, like I'm gonna record a video, and I haven't recorded in super long, and I kept thinking like, I'm gonna record something, and so I was sitting here so excited about, well, I can record this and I can record that, and I'm just excited, and I was dummy excited, right? Like I was like, oh, it's going down, like, oh, it's really going up, because like, yeah, it's about to go, this is lit. And as I sat here, I was like, well, damn, what do I want to talk about? And so many things just come in, I could not focus. I was like, oh my gosh. And so I was use the bathroom. I know, TMI, but for real, I got so much inspiration. I was able to quiet my mind and narrow it down. But because things come in so fast, sometimes I have to write them down or say them, like voice record them. And so in this instance, I was like typing. I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's the message. The message is trust yourself to navigate, right? And so I say all that to say, you're going to see me looking at my computer. I usually like to flip off the dome, but right now I'm gonna flip off this script because I wrote it down because I was channeling it like bam, 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 and I was like, I'm not gonna remember all of that, but this is good, and I have to share it. So bear with me, bear with me, right? So yeah, like I said, the title of this video is "Trust Yourself to Navigate," right? Which means trusting yourself to know what's best for you. The first step to that, though, is GPS locating yourself. And in order to GPS locate yourself, you have to be honest. You have to be completely honest with yourself about where you are and what's going on. And that can be a challenge, but you can do it. Keep it 100 with yourself, okay? And GPS locate yourself and ask yourself, where am I and what's going on, okay? The more we ignore our inner voice, our intuition, our gut, whatever you want to call it, the more quiet it becomes, right? The harder it is to hear it. Just as the more you listen to it, the more you trust it, the more you trust yourself, the stronger it gets. I hear people say all the time, I'm gonna say hear people say all the time. I'll just say, I see people, and I hear people, I guess you can say, they get frustrated, and it is frustrating, but I'm breathe. They're frustrated by the people who don't trust themselves, right? They're like, oh my gosh, how do you not know this, or how do you not know that? So for instance, people ask questions like, how do I protect myself spiritually, right? And people be like, oh my gosh, it's so simple, like da 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 da. Like, for instance, let's just answer that question. It's simple as words sound power. You can speak protection over yourself, right? But we've been taught to not trust ourselves over and over and over and over and over again. It's been conditioned, right? Let's see about this lighting. We've been so conditioned that no wonder we second guessing everything all the time. Well, I don't know. Is that right? Is that how we do it? right? So yeah, I feel you that it's easy. It is, but it takes time. If you've been conditioned to believe that you don't have the power and the magic and the answers, and everybody outside of you is more powerful than you, then of course it's natural to seek outside of yourself those answers, right? So I just feel like we have to realize that everybody's not on the same mission, on the same journey, at the same mile marker. And sometimes when we are doing like collective teachings or groups, whatever it might be, sometimes, and this isn't just for that, this, but we'll say that for instance, you have a collective of people coming together, it can be misunderstood that everybody's on a certain level because people sought this out. Like they something spoke to them, it resonated, they joined. But just because they joined don't mean they know the basics. So if you're going to talk about a certain topic, then you should thoroughly explain it, right? Because everybody's not in the same place, and what might be review to some people might be new knowledge to the next. So at that point, you want to just make sure that you're taking the time to take that into account, because I feel like it can cause more harm than good sometimes. Like all money ain't good money and all good deeds ain't good deeds, because sometimes we say we want to help people, but if we don't understand that everybody's not at the same place and everybody does not have the same working knowledge that we have, you can cause more harm, or you can put yourself in a situation that can cause more harm to yourself or others than you intended, right? The people that you vowed to help may walk away from the situation worse off than they came in, and or even yourself. Okay, so I'm kind of like ad-libbing a little bit here. My hand's a little dry. Get some oils. I'm ad-libbing a little bit here because I'm trying not to go super scripty right now, but I'm just checking with my notes. Why would we be thinking everything got to be so perfect? And that's one of the things that I'm working on right now. When the whole message came through, my ancestors are like, trust yourself, take action. This is that, because I'm so like, oh, but it has to be a certain way. It has to look, feel, and be like this. And it's like, but it don't. So just go. It's go time. So that's that for transparency purposes. But yeah, okay. So back on track. I feel like there should be some type of vetting process, right? To kind of get an idea of where everybody is before they join. Because, I mean, again, just because somebody want to don't mean they should. And sometimes people feel like they should be here and that don't mean they should. That's another conversation. However, I feel like it's good to know kind of like where people are, so asking certain questions to kind of get an idea of where they're at, what they're looking for, what they hope to get out of the situation, so you can kind of help navigate that for them and yourself. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, let's remember, like I said, at some point you were there too. You know what I'm saying? Unsure and needing guidance. You know what I'm saying? So have empathy. Have empathy. Have a little empathy for those that are, learning to trust themselves again. And thirdly, is that a thing? Yeah. Anyways, some people are raised, around the traditions, or had someone, during their upbringing, that shares some of this history and knowledge and traditions, etc. So that's awesome. However, that's not everyone. There are some people who don't have access to an elder or a wise person, and regardless of age, because wisdom does not discriminate, okay? But not everybody has that access in the way in which you do or have had. They haven't been blessed with that guidance. So they're really out here like lost, like you in a city with no GPS and you just trying to figure it out, stopping and asking any and everybody, hey, so I'm looking for this, well, where do I go? Okay, well, now I'm looking for lunch, where do I go? Literally, that's how some people are, and that's okay, right? But like I said, have a little empathy, and this does not say that There is no accountability for those who are seeking assistance, because I say all of that, but don't get me wrong by any means. I am not saying that the people who are healers, teachers, activists, whatever you're doing, I'm not saying that it's up to them to do all the work. I'm saying that if you are someone that is seeking help, or seeking assistance in some type of way, make sure you are willing to put in the work. And at times, putting in the work may look something like asking one or two questions just to kind of like get yourself back on track with, you know what I'm saying, where you're going. Because sometimes if, somebody steers you back onto your path, you know what I mean, right in the right direction, like, let me send you over here. This is probably where you should go based on the questions you asked me. But if they steer you here because you asked a couple questions, you get back on that track, on that path, and start to trust in yourself and just going and doing, and you listening and hearing that inner voice. Because now, as you trust in yourself, you'll start to get the guidance you need, right? But sometimes, sometimes we want to ask 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 questions, and we want to know the answer to that. And when we want to know more, we just want to keep asking all the damn questions. We want to know more, and we want to know why you mad at me for asking you all these questions when you literally said you was here to help me. No shade, because I've been there too. I'm just saying. Like, I cannot be the only person that resonates with where you just like, dude, like they getting at me because I'm asking a question. And it's not that I like wanna like be got at, and it's not that I want to get at you, but like at the same time, like it's a line. Okay, it's a line there. And that line is pretty much, come ask the questions, but then also remind yourself that you have to trust yourself at some point. You know what I'm saying? When use your discernment. Look, there we go back to that word discernment. Because like not everybody's meaning it in an ill way. Like they're not always like, hey, get up out of here. You're asking too many questions. Some people are genuinely like, I don't want to keep telling you everything, because the more I do that, the more you're depending on me to provide you answers, when literally the whole goal is to begin to trust yourself again. Right? So I'm just going to check on my notes real quick just to see where I'm at, because this was good stuff, right? This was good stuff. And I feel like I'm low-key getting off track, but a little ad-libbing, but you get the point, right? So, yeah, like I was saying, I want us to make sure that when we get steered in the right direction, we begin to ask those questions, we begin to let our spirit guide us, and moving in the direction in which we're supposed to be. Because sometimes somebody might tell you, oh yeah, go over here and read this and go do that, but that might not be the path you're supposed to be on. But you would know that if you take a minute to trust and listen to your own inner guidance. You know what I'm saying? Listening to your own inner guidance will tell you like, nah, you shouldn't do that. But again, sometimes it can be so subtle, and we're like, wait, I don't know, I can't tell. Like, wait, I heard like yeah, but then I heard like no. So now I'm genuinely confused. So now what do? We gonna go find somebody else. So I think that I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not sure. So now you again seeking assistance outside of yourself, and there's no judgment, because this happens. Like for real, for real. I've had a few experiences, like for real, where I was upset. Like, how dare you get mad at me? Like, you telling me I'm asking too many questions? I'm trying to figure something out. And it was at that moment where I realized, like, yeah, they trying to help you, but they not trying to give you all the answers. They like, you want them to do all the work. Okay, well, I got this question I want. Okay, well, I got a follow-up question. It's like, dude, do some of their own research. Like at first I was I was feeling some type of way, because I feel like you should answer my questions. Like I'm trying to learn, but like you're supposed to answer my questions because I need help. But the point is that a good teacher, right, is going to assist you to be able to trust yourself again, because you don't want to have somebody solely dependent upon you forever. You want them to be able to thrive, right, and begin to be successful at trusting themselves and navigating this life without you, because not all the time are we always going to be with those people that come into our lives. Some people come in for a season and they're here to teach us one thing or the next, or they might be here to bring you to this opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like life is so beautiful in that way, like the way everything connects. And so again, it's really about that discernment and building up that muscle. And that's what's most important in this message, just building that muscle of trusting yourself, because the more you do it, the stronger it gets. Just to share it with you today. So I got up today and I was like, okay, ooh, the sun is shining. I'm going outside. I'm gonna spend more time outside today than usual. Like usually we've been inside, it's been raining. But I was like, you know what? It's sunny. We're going outside today. And so I pulled a card and my card said the sun. I said, okay, come on now, the confirmation. Trust yourself. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be going outside and soaking up this sun. And so as I was going about my day, little things, I might be like, what did I come here for? And, trust myself. Let me be still for a minute. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what I was supposed to be doing. Thank you. And I'm thanking myself, right, for my spirit, for like guiding me, because sometimes you ever like think, oh man, I was talking, I forgot what I was going to say, or I was coming here to do something, but I forgot what I was going to do. And you just walk away. Then you might not ever remember, or I ain't going to say ever, but you might not remember as quickly versus if you stop and just be quiet. Have you ever been talking to somebody and you're like, dang, what was I saying? And they try to remind you, like, bro, I didn't ask you to remind me. Like, hold on for a minute. Just be quiet. Right? No, just stop talking. I'm going to get it. I just need a little silence. That's how it is. At some point, you get to a point where you're able to loop back around and get that, oh, bam, grasped. I got that. When you trust yourself, when you decide to say, okay, you know what? I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I can listen, I can hear, I'm using my discernment, I can see, I know. You feel me? Like, I know. And so it's a beautiful thing. And that's how my day kind of flowed. I was like, oh, yeah, I know. Boop, okay, boop. And I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, this what's up. Like, I ain't mad at you. You know what you're doing. And that's the goal we all want to obtain, is to get to a place where we can trust ourselves and just live our lives in that flow state. I mean, until we're able to be in that flow state of continuously trusting ourselves. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we all gonna have good and bad days, because nobody's perfect. Some days it's gonna be like, yeah, we up, and then some days it's gonna be like, But the difference is knowing how to use your tools to navigate those waters. Because like, something may come and try to steal your joy, but because you know how to dip around it, it might bump you a little bit, but it ain't gonna knock you down. You know what I'm saying? That's another beauty. And trusting yourself, knowing that you know what you know and you got this. So let me just tap back in with my notes right quick to make sure I'm back on point. Because, like I said, this was some good stuff. I kind of skipped over a lot, but you kind of got the general, idea of what I'm talking about here. So, yeah, I kind of said it earlier, but the whole seek your own understanding, like that was the thing. What was it? Lean not unto your own understanding. Like I felt some type of way about that scripture. Like I get it, but there's also some kind of connotation there that you shouldn't trust yourself, and you really should. You should always seek guidance or counsel from whoever it is that you serve, that's a higher being or higher power, if that's what you believe in. If not, teach your own. I do believe in a higher power. So there is someone outside of me, right? But I also believe in myself, my higher self. I believe in my ancestors and my spirit team and the universe. And there's a team. It's a squad. I got a squad. So I'm going to trust in that process. And so when I'm doing that, I know without a doubt, like, because I've been through worse stuff and I survived. So I know without a doubt, as I learn to continue, not learn because I've learned it, right? But anyways, you get what I'm saying. I learned that as I continue to do that, I'm in flow. I'm in flow, not the ebb and flow, not the up and down. It's a daily practice of showing up for self, showing up how you want to, when you want to, trusting yourself, trusting and knowing that, like, I'm going to be good because I'm leaning into what I want and I'm being guided by my team that has my best interests. Okay, I'm leaning on the universe. The universe got me. Okay, I'm gonna do my part, but squad, they got me. They gonna do what I can't do. You know what I'm saying? And that only happens when we trust ourselves. Like we can say, oh, I want to do this, we want to do that, and sometimes we get to, okay, wait, like you try to focus on doing too much, and focusing on doing too much, you get stagnated because you can't multitask like that. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to narrow your focus and be like, wait, let me get laser focused on one thing or two or whatever it is. But I was trying to do 9 and 9 ain't working. I need to do 6. I need to do 3, whatever it is, and stay focused on that thing. So then that way you can now begin to accomplish on a grander scale, because you're not all over the place and scattered. Because sometimes we'll try to do so many things and be like, I knew I couldn't do it because look at this and this not working and that's not working. It's like, no, it is. It's just you in so many different directions. So dial it back and just ask yourself, what is it that I want to do? What is it I need to be doing? Ask yourself. Yourself will respond. You know what I'm saying? Ask your spirit team, whoever you believe in, and sit and wait for that answer. And meditation, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like I'm saying sit down and meditate right now and expect that answer to come within 20 minutes or 5 minutes. It may not. But I'm saying in the meantime, in between time, continue to live your life. Find the joy. A friend of mine reminded me recently, like, you got to find the joy in all of that. Like, because it's a lot, it's heavy, but you can find a joy in that. Just get back to it. And I am so grateful that she said that, because I really had to like check myself, like, hold up, who am I be? Okay, that's right. Okay, yeah, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't not take action and expect that everything is going to work itself out. No, because you have to still do your part. They say faith without works is dead. I can say, oh, I know they're gonna take care of me. Yeah, if you do your part, it's like you can't say I'm gonna get my paycheck if you ain't went to work all week. That's not how that works, right? Like, if you own a business, if you ain't producing whatever it is you producing, products or whatever, my whole camera shaking, I'm leaning on the table, I'm getting excited. But if you're not producing, then how do you expect things to return? If you're not creating a plan and creating actionable goals, then what do you expect to come back to you? Another friend of mine reminded me, he said, and it's funny because they both said the same thing in different ways at different times, at different time periods, but it was like, you're always manifesting. And this is kind of different, but it's, it's just kind of flowing. It came in, so we're going to roll with it. You're always manifesting, and some people, we think, oh, manifesting is all about manifesting this money or this car, or this job, or this thing, or this location. But the thing is, you're always manifesting. What are you manifesting, right? So if you're not trusting yourself, then think about the thoughts that's flowing through your head. So now you flowing in and manifesting thoughts of not trusting yourself. So therefore it comes out into the action of you not trusting yourself, and the whole spiral that creates. I know how that is. And whatever it creates. Like, okay, so I don't trust myself, and now this is what that looks like, versus I trust myself, so I'm going to get up every day and I know this is what works. This is my rising routine. This is what I do every day. This is what, if I get in this funk, I know how to get out of it. This is what I'm going to do. And you do those things every day, and you consistently show up. And, like, if you can think about it, you probably survived worse. How many things have you, come on now, if y'all resonating or not with this message, like, how many things have you been through and you can look back and be like, dang, like, I really survived that. Like, I am okay. Like, I've been through some things that I thought would take me out, but I've trusted myself. You know what I'm saying? I've trusted myself, like, and I don't share my message often with certain things, or my story, shall I say, with certain things, because I be like, oh, I don't know, that doubt. You can't be doubting yourself. You gotta trust yourself. So I'm just gonna share it real quick, and I'm gonna close out this message. One day I realized I had to GPS locate myself, because I was making some not so great choices, and I realized at some point either you're gonna be accountable for your actions or you're not. So I decided to look and GPS locate myself, and where am I and what's going on. I had a drinking problem. I was drinking too much, okay? But it's the thing in the family, right? And we all have our vices within ourselves, within our families, whatever. And I knew that I'm here to break some generational curses and some generational cycles. I'm here to tear this shit down and rebuild it anew, okay? So I knew at that point, okay, so what do I need to do? You need to stop and realize you can't. Some people, use NA or AA or gamblers, not like whatever your addiction is, you use whatever resource you find works for you. And for me, I was able to overcome that drinking addiction by going within myself and trusting myself. Because I did the inner work, I had to stop and ask myself, why am I doing it in the first place? Like, where did it start? And sometimes that can be hard. I ain't gonna say hard. It is challenging though. It's challenging to, like, really uncover those layers. But as we stop and realize that as I uncover these layers, I'm doing so many things, right? I'm GPS locating myself. So now I can create an action plan. Okay, I know where I'm going. I can start taking action. I can also withstand and sustain it. Because how can you sustain it if you don't know why? Then, that's how you hear people say all the time, what is your why? I knew my why was I want to be here for my children. I have 2 sons. I want to be here for them. I want things to get greater later. Like, I don't need to keep finding my solution at the end of this bottle, because every time ain't no damn solution at the end of the bottle but another bottle, because the solution wasn't there, so it got to be in the next one. So I knew at that point I had to go to the root. Get to the root, to the root, to the root. You gotta get to the root. You gotta figure out what it is. Okay, what's not working? What is working? Why is it working? What's not? Why is it not? You know what I mean? You have to ask yourself these questions, and as we do that healing work, we GPS locate ourselves, and in that process, guess what? We're trusting ourselves again. We're deciding to trust ourselves again. And I knew at that point, I said, you know what? I can do this. I can do anything. August 9th, 2023 will be 3 years, baby. 3 years, no drinking. And I did that on my own. And I'm so grateful that I did. Things have been changing and just, doing this thing in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this glow ain't for nothing, okay? Like, things that have happened in my life in the last few years, if I was still drinking, I don't know where I'll be right now. And I don't want to think about it, because that ain't me. That ain't happening. But where I am at, I'm grateful and I'm very proud of my journey. And so I say all that to just share with you that I'm serious. If I can do it, you can do it. It may be challenging, but it's possible. And sometimes we just need that extra reassurance that we can do it, that all things are possible if you believe in yourself. And if you want to believe in yourself, but you just like, I don't know where to start. If this message resonates with you, please press like so it can get to other people that need to hear this message. If you know somebody right now that needs to hear this message, please share it so that they can receive this message. And subscribe to this channel so that you can stay connected. You and I can stay connected. You can stay tapped in. We stay tapped in on what's going on. If you resonate with this message and you're like, I need to talk to you, sis, you can hit me up. Okay, you can hit me up on IG or Facebook at Nubian-KreativGoddess. That's Nubian Creative, KreativGoddess, Nubian-KreativGoddess on IG and Facebook. I'm here for you. We are in this together, one day at a time. But again, I say all that to say, you still got to be putting in the work, because I'm not going harder for nobody that ain't willing to go hard for themselves. And there's only so much we can do. We're not meant to journey and trek all the way with everybody all the time. It's only so much that we can do. We have to do our part. And that starts with trusting and knowing that you can. You can. Look at you. You listening to this message, you're still here. You've made it through your worst days, the days that you thought was your worst days. So you can keep going. I believe in you. And I appreciate you for listening to this message. Peace.